Echigo first started as a brew pub in Japan's Niigata Prefecture in 1995. However, the company eventually went to bottle and distribute its beers internationally, including Echigo's Flying IPA. But is this IPA worth sampling? Find out now on Two Dudes Reviews.
What up, guys? Yeah, today we have Echigo Flying IPA. I'm sorry, I probably butchered that pronunciation, but I don't know. It is a Japanese IPA, and I believe it is an American style IPA, or as they call it, American style. So I'm pretty interested. I've never tried this before, and I do like finding these Asian beers that you just normally don't see around here. So anyways, let's crack this open. Definitely has one of those very, you can always tell when a beer is made, like, not anywhere in North America by the way the can is. It's almost like a pop-top soup can. I'm totally cool with that. Now, most of the not American IPAs I've come across, the IBUs, the bitterness isn't extremely overpowering. I think the super heavy, like 90, 100 plus IBUs, that's much more of an American thing, American trend that hasn't really expanded over. This is 6% ABV, so it's most likely not going to be ultra high with the IBUs, but I don't know. That is the beer. I always like the can label. Anyways, let's get into the review and get into the smell. It has a nice grapefruit aroma to it, some lemon zest. Hints of pine, but not very much. It's mostly the grapefruit aroma. So yeah, that hoppy grapefruit, but it's not super heavy on that piney kind of thing, which you get a lot of the times with some of the other IPAs. I think it smells pretty darn good, real refreshing. But yeah, I'm gonna recommend it on the aroma. It's not super complex. It's pretty straightforward, but if you like that grapefruity kind of thing, by all means, go for it. So I'm gonna recommend it. And now let's get into the taste. Yes, not high on the bitterness at all. If you're a fan of, if you don't like your IPAs super bitter, I think this would be a good thing for you. If you like it uber bitter, probably not. I mean, if I had to guess, it's bitterness maybe somewhere between 50 and 60. It's not super high. And it's kind of interesting. The bitterness doesn't hit you right away. There's almost like a cream ale kind of clean taste at the tip of your tongue first before the bitterness hits the back end of it, which is very interesting. I was just seeing if it said the IBUs in the can, but I don't see it. I'll throw it on a graphic or something. But you do get the some of that pininess to it. You do have the bitter grapefruit. It's not like a sharp pine grapefruit that you get with a lot of American IPAs. It's soft. It's like in the center of the flavor is that grapefruit piney kind of thing, and on the outside you almost have like that cream ale type style, and it kind of fades into it. So it's not a clean cut into It's almost like it's timidly getting into that bitterness. It's like it's not quite sure if it wants to fully step into it. It's kind of like maybe we want to go with this bitter. We're not totally sure. Maybe we'll hide it a little bit. So, I mean, bitterness, I think, is pretty good. I don't like my IPAs super over the top bitter. At least I find a lot of the beers that go over the top, they just make it bitter to be bitter, and they kind of lose all the great qualities that can be found in an IPA. And so I find that 60, 70 range is kind of a nice sweet spot where you still have to make a good tasting beer without just like covering it up with hops. But this one, it's I don't know. It's like a cream ale, an English cream ale meets IPA, and I'm not hating it, but I'm also not like super in love with it. Like I can kind of take it or leave it. So I'm gonna give it a half for that. It's give it a whirl, but give it a whirl because it is a Japanese IPA, basically, and you probably haven't had many, if any. But I'm gonna give it a half. All right, next category is value for price, and this is where it gets a little because you're paying a premium for this. The Japanese micro beers. Can't say for sure how many there are in Japan, but at least for the number of micro Japanese beers that are coming to the States, there's not that many, and so you're paying a very kind of hefty premium. It's almost like you're paying the micro beer premium on top of the import premium, and so you got a pretty high price tag. So, but there's nothing it is what it is. If they want to export it, they're going to have to charge a higher price to get it to us, and then that's just one of those things. And so I don't blame them for that higher price point, but it's going to be more expensive than most of your. I guess not more. There's since the IBUs are lower, it doesn't take as much of the hops, so the price to produce it isn't quite as high. Because some of those IPAs you find from microbreweries in the States, you're paying like $15 for a 4-pack, and so you're not paying that much. So I guess I'll give it a half again for the price. You're paying more than a lot of the IPAs out there, but it's still not priced to a point where it would terrify you to even give it a try. At least with this one, it was a couple bucks, and it's like, okay, even if I don't hate it, it's maybe just $4 down the drain, and I can at least say I tried it. So it's I'm almost kind of glad that I'm not a huge fan of it, because it's almost like a bummer when you find a beer that you really like, but you're just like, man, that thing's like $20 for a 4-pack. I can't keep that on stock always. So yeah, I'll give it a half. All right, next category is distinction. How distinct is it? And it's not a bad tasting IPA. I think it's distinct in that it is a Japanese import IPA, so that makes it distinct. But if you were to just stack it up against all the other IPAs you can find around here, it wouldn't stand out. So it kind of depends on how you look at it. If you put this like a sushi restaurant or a Japanese steakhouse, and you're their only Japanese beers, yes, this would probably stand out. But in the world of IPAs, not really, so I'm not going to recommend it for like a standout IPA kind of thing. All right, next category is drinkability, and absolutely, it is a very drinkable IPA. Because the IBUs aren't super overpowering, because the alcohol is only 6%. It is a very drinkable IPA that you could enjoy, that you wouldn't have to sip slowly, which is something that a lot of the more bitter beers force you to do. So yeah, I'll recommend it for drinkability. It is a nice, It's in the sweet spot for a lot of things, for the alcohol, for the IBUs, all that. It's right in a nice area where you can drink it. And honestly, you pair it with some like spicy food, I think this would be a great beer to have with some like spicy Thai food, or just any kind of really like spicy food, where you want something with a little more taste, but you don't want it to be like so heavy where it's like just masking the food. This is a good beer for that, so I'll recommend it for drinkability. And all right, last category is would I buy it again? And I mean, if I want an IPA, I'm probably gonna go with something else, to be perfectly honest. The only real chance I'd get this is if I was in a Japanese steakhouse, I saw it. They weren't charging me like $9 for it, because I'm paying like $4 for the single can. They might charge me a heftier price at a steakhouse or a sushi joint. So maybe possibly at a restaurant if the price isn't crazy, but realistically, no, I probably not. I mean, I like the can, I like the logo, I like the art, but it's not enough to get me to really buy it again over the other IPAs. But that's my review of it, Echigo, the Flying IPA out of Japan. Give it a whirl. You know, it might not knock your socks off, but I think it's worthy of at least trying it. It's not like piss poor. It is a fine tasting beer, and I like the micro brew. I like trying micro beers from other countries, because I mean you were so overflowed with micro beers in the States that it's, I don't know. For me, it's a little refreshing to try something from someplace totally different, with some slightly different ideas on making beer, and different water sources and all that stuff. But yeah, that is my review. And so if you've had this before, let me know in the comments. If there's other Japanese beers you think I should give it, or Asian beers you think I should give a whirl and check out, let me know in the comments as well. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be great. And so yeah, that's the review for myself and for Echigo. Sorry I murdered that pronunciation. Flying IPA. Take it easy.